No, Sarah is like this.
He knows. I told him to come and
Yeah.
sit here. He wants to
Okay.
go inside.
Madagascar.
He also knows that he's supposed to sit here.
Okay. You
I
saw
saw
him.
him today.
Your father also should come out.
I don't know if
He's inside there.
I did
Come
tell
on.
him. He also
Yeah.
knows he's
No,
supposed to be
okay.
outside.
The ambassador,
I've
all of
let
them.
them all know that
Yeah.
you're supposed to be outside
Yeah.
until they call you.
But I didn't know.
Okay. I'm gonna just go stand there.
Okay.
Wait
Please,
for the
please.
ambulance.
Yes, I'm waiting.
But she's
Huh?
getting.
Who? No,
No, no, you have to eat.
Yeah, don't eat.
You have to eat.
Don't have time to eat. Thank you. She can take it back there. She put it on with her. I will take it.
Oui.
Voilà, vous suivez ma collègue, elle va vous montrer. Vous savez, vous devez vous asseoir. Non, non, elle est là. Elle va s'arrêter là. Vous vous asseyez.
Une phrase de Madagascar, de la part de Madame Hunt. Oui.
Oh, comment elle va?
Oui, ça va, mais elle n'est plus à l'Assemblée.
Oui, à l'Assemblée. Oh, mais j'espère qu'elle va bien. Que tout ça va bien.
Oh, oui.
Oh,
Parce qu'elle est mon
Ya Mr. Akbat uthe babambele into amela.
D'accord, de ces nouvelles. Vous lui direz bien sûr de ma part. Hein?
Oui, oui, oui.
Ah.
Non, je lui ai dit ça que c'était Alicia
Vous lui avez envoyé la
Here's your thing, bese ngibamba indawo yakho.
Voilà, c'est bien.
Hayi beka abathatha.
Oh, for this.
Kwenze ngime ku-position. Sidema engabuya. Mina bese ngiqedile.
Ngiyeke ukudla kuvulekile so.
Okay, hayi.
But it's fine.
Tuzomthola.
Akunandaba. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Next.
You gonna wrap? Yeah. Eno bone na tsere kha ana no rara Presidente wa tla mara ke tsa reng ba o fa di-mind gobane futhi ya gaga e gona ko
ne ke re ba re ke Alpha Break.
Right?
Honorable members, the Honorable fourth Vice President,
Très honorables membres, nous allons
Honourable members, we are going to restart the work, which were adjourned a little bit earlier by Chief Chirumbira. You can see that I am on my own at the moment, which means that the other members of the Bureau are certainly occupied somewhere else. And as was announced, we are in a critical period simply because we have a very important challenge before us. We are requesting a budget which would allow us to work well. So all the organs of the African Union are at the moment right in front of the PRC to try and support all their different budgets. So right now, the President of the Pan-African Parliament, the Vice President, the Clerk, and all the other members are at the moment trying to defend the budget decisions. So they are at the moment trying to present their budget and are trying to defend its decision. So we will continue our work. I will not have very much more to say. We still have a large number here in the room. Today we have a very special day. It's a very special day for our continent. It's Africa Day. On the 25th of May, we always celebrate Africa Day. We have listened to very, very good presentations today by our colleague, by Professor Batule, and also many other persons who spoke before him. They have shown us exactly where we are and where we want to go. That having been said, are you not getting interpreting? We are. Do you have interpretation? So we can go on. Thank you. I think at the beginning, at the opening of the session, we started with the Master of Ceremonies. We had the oath, and as many delegations, in fact, arrived late, that is what we started with. We started with a session dedicated to the taking of the oath, and that is why I would like now to ask the new members to come into the room, and I think we are going to continue with the ceremony of the taking of the oath. So, thank you very much. Swearing-in ceremony. Thank you.
Merci, Honorable Président.
Thank you very much, Honorable Chair. I have the honor of inviting. I would like to ask Honorable Rajulina Andriana Rimanana. I am terribly sorry for the pronunciation. Should I not have done it correctly, please would you come in and do the oath? Thank you very much. Would you take the oath?
Madagascar.
Moi, Ratsuilna Andremarmananasit, député du Parlement.
I, member of the Pan-African Parliament, will perform my functions as a member of the Pan-African Parliament to the best of my ability and with honor and dignity in the service of the peoples of Africa. I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to the African Union and will preserve, protect, and defend the Constitutive Act of the African Union and the Protocol to the Treaty establishing the African Economic Community relating to the Pan-African Parliament as by law established. And I will promote adherence to the principles of good governance, democracy, human rights, international humanitarian law, peace, stability, and all objectives of the Pan-African Parliament. So help me God, as so affirm, done at Midrand, Johannesburg, on this 25th of day of 2023. Yeah.
No. Sergeant at Arms, where is the sash? Where is the sash? Where is the sash, Sergeant at Arms? Why do we do things this way?
Puis-je continuer?
No.
Merci, Honorable Président.
Thank you, Honorable Vice President. I would like to invite now the Honorable Member of the Sahrawi Democratic Republic, Mr. Habib Boukeres.
Merci. أقسم بالله العظيم.
I hereby swear I am Habib Mahfouz Abu Kras. I will perform my functions as a member of the Pan-African Parliament to the best of my ability and with honor and dignity in the service of the peoples of Africa. I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to the African Union and will preserve, protect, and defend the Constitutive Act of the African Union and the protocol to the treaty establishing the African Economic Community relating to the Pan-African Parliament as by law established. And I will promote adherence to the principles of good governance, democracy, human rights, international humanitarian law, peace, stability, and all objectives of the Pan-African Parliament. So help me God. I so affirm. Thank you.
Why that one?
Je peux continuer? Dois-je continuer? Oui. J'ai l'honneur d'inviter.
I have the honor of inviting the Honorable Member of Somalia, Honorable Senator Professor Abdi Ismail Soumata.
Thank you. Honorable MPs,
You spoke a lot when you have not been sworn in.
I am a free African. I, Abdi Ismail Samatar, hereby swear, solemnly declare that 1. I will perform my functions as a member of the Pan-African Parliament to the best of my ability and with honor and dignity in the service of the peoples of Africa. 2. I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to the African Union and will preserve, protect, and defend the Constitutive Act of the African Union and the protocol to the treaty establishing the African Economic Community relating to the Pan-African Parliament as by law established. And 3. I will promote adherence to the principles of good governance, democracy, human rights, international humanitarian law, African humanitarian law, and peace, stability, and all objectives of the Pan-African Parliament. So help me Allah, God, in the case of an oath. I also affirm, done in Midrand, the Republic of South Africa, on the 25th day of May 2023.
Merci beaucoup.
I thank you very much. We're going to continue our proceedings following the administration of oaths of the three new members. We're going to invite into the chamber, according to the provisions of Article 38, paragraph 1 of the Rules of Procedure of the Pan-African Parliament. This is why I have the honor of inviting our distinguished guests to come into the chamber and take their seats. These are His Excellency Osama Mahjoub Hassan Dirar, Ambassador of the Republic of Sudan in South Africa, and Mr. Cecilio Jesus Mba Mesiakele, Senior Policy Officer, Conflict Management Directorate at the AUC Department of Political Affairs, Peace and Security, and Mr. Khalid Dahab, the President of the Sudanese Community in Gauteng and representative of Sudan Solidarity Group in South Africa. So our three illustrious guests are kindly requested to take their seats within the chamber.
Alors,
so once they are seated, I think we're going to invite now Madame Wawa to read out the first item. Excellency, the first item on our agenda on the presentation and debate on the status of peace and security in Africa. I would like to invite Mr. Cecilio Jesus Mba Messi Akele to make his presentation.
Oui, vous venez ici.
Please come forward to make your presentation.
I am apologize because I am opening my laptop now. I didn't waiting that they are going to call me at this moment. Thank you. Yeah. Thank you very much. Thank you, Excellency. I think you are Vice President of Pan-African Parliament. Thank you for giving me a floor. His Excellency, members of Pan-African Parliament, ladies and gentlemen, all protocol observed. Allow me to express the apology of the Commissioner for Peace and Political Affairs of the African Union Commission, His Excellency Ambassador Bankole Adeoye, for not being able to be present here. Sorry? Sorry? This is not working? Like this. Thank you. This important event of the Pan-African Parliament, due to the celebration today, like you know, you're celebrating that this month, or the 60th anniversary of the Organization of African Unity on the Second African Union Commission. As you may be aware, the AU Commission, headquartered in Addis Ababa, has a scheduled activity in which Ambassador Bankole has an important role to play as Commissioner for Political Affairs, Peace and Security Department. The 60th anniversary celebration will pay tribute to the founding fathers and mothers of the AU and the enormous effort they made to achieve sovereignty across the African continent, as well as the great achievement to lead to the all Africans to join what we are doing today. Mr. Vice President, honorable member of Parliament, the undersigned, have been delegated by the Commissioner Bankole to attend this second session of the 6th Pan-African Parliament to deliver a presentation on the status of peace and security in Africa, and will be some point. I want you to listen to me very well, because this is a very sensitive issue. It will be some point for perhaps the Parliament report, the last one, for the state of peace and security in Africa. I would like to invite you, because I'm a technical level. Technical level means something. I'm working with my commissioner. We are building rapport. We are producing rapport. And some level that I have to address to you for this rapport. I know that many questions are going to come from you. My presence here as a delegate. Delegate means something. So you are limited. So you cannot go beyond for your status. I'm going to take note of what we are going to say. But I would like to let you know the summary, but starting what I want to do. This presentation that I'm going to do today, I think is very important for all of you as members of Pan-African Parliament to know what happened in Africa. When we are talking in peace and security in our continent, there are different ways. Maybe we are listening, sometimes we don't know what is going on. Dans ce contexte, le rapport présente une vie dans...
The report would present to you a comprehensive picture of security in the continent and also in countries on the status of peace and security in Africa. The report starts on the 1st of January 2023 to date, with a particular focus on the political and security developments encompassing the 5 regions of Africa. Our report, the last peace and security report, which we have prepared in our department, is providing some updates on the status of peace and security through an analysis and the assessment of the major developments of the ongoing conflicts and the efforts for the resolution of the conflicts, with a few clarifications on some escalation in some regions of Africa. Mr. Vice President, Madam, ladies and gentlemen, members of the Pan-African Parliament, the significant results of the Department of Political Affairs in the Commission of the African Union have also been underlined while trying to present an analysis for an early response to these conflicts. As you know, the leading line that has been proposed by Mr. Bankole is to work together with the 5 geographical regions as they have been set out by the Organization of the African Unity since 1976. And I will provide you with a distribution of these 5 regions based on the decision that has been undertaken in 1976, which the Commissioner has taken as a reference in his work on peace and security in Africa. Central Africa is made up of 9 countries: Burundi, Cameroon, the Central African Republic, the Democratic Republic of Congo, Equatorial Guinea, Gabon, Sao Tome Principe, and Chad. The second region is East Africa in English, and which is made up of 14 countries: Comoros, Djibouti, Eritrea, Ethiopia, Kenya, Madagascar, Mauritius, Rwanda, Seychelles, Somalia, South Sudan, Tanzania, and Uganda. North Africa is made up of 10 countries. Sorry, says the speaker, 7 countries instead. Algeria, Egypt, Libya, Morocco, Mauritania, the Sahrawi Arab Republic, and Tunisia. Southern Africa region, where we are, that is South Africa. We have South Africa, Angola, Botswana, the Kingdom of Eswatini, the Kingdom of Lesotho, Malawi, Mozambique, Namibia, Zambia, and Zimbabwe. The last region on which we work also through the Peace and Security Council is Western Africa, which is made up of 15 countries: Benin, Burkina Faso, Cape Verde, Côte d'Ivoire, the Gambia, Ghana, Guinea, Guinea-Bissau, Liberia, Mali, Niger, Nigeria, Senegal, Sierra Leone, and Togo. So here is the geographical distribution. Now I would like to draw your attention that there is a difference between region and community. Africa is made up of 8 communities. The Commissioner in charge of peace and security and political affairs has decided to work with regions because it is easier in order to evaluate the status of security and peace in Africa. Because, as we say, because some countries can be members of 2 or 3 communities, and this creates some difficulties. So here is the distribution. With this, Mr. President, according to the guidelines of my commissioner, as I said in my opening remarks, because it is him who should have, who was supposed to come. So, and because the commissioner has important tasks to accomplish as the main leader of our Peace and Security Council, and it was difficult for him. And me, as a member of his directorate, I was part also of these tasks, but I had, of course, to come because the president of the Pan-African Parliament spoke to my commissioner on this issue. In this context, ladies and gentlemen, members of the Pan-African Parliament, when I started to speak, I would like you to follow the analysis which I'll be presenting. I'm adopting a technical approach only. But I will, of course, take down notes, because when I started addressing you, I said that my intervention will be a little bit limited, because this is a very sensitive issue. So I would like to start with the regional trend. Central Africa. You're already familiar with Central Africa, and it is faced now to challenges related to political transition related to dialogue in Chad, and terrorism and violence in Lake Chad, and you add to that also the persistent activities of the armed groups and the rebellion in the DRC. And also in the Central African Republic, we are witnessing, and also it is related also to elections in Gabon and in the DRC. And also there is a secessionist agitation and rebellion in northern Cameroon. And also we have observed some tension between Rwanda and the DRC. And of course, these are members of the Central Africa, and they are also members of ECAS and CAC. And we also observed an organized transnational crime, including arms trafficking and also maritime piracy in the Gulf of Guinea. So this is a kind of umbrella in Central Africa. What was the position of the African Union on this situation, and what did we do since January 2023 on Central Africa? The African Union Peace and Security Council and Political Affairs on Chad and we have reaffirmed the support of ECAS in the region, the efforts of ECAS in the region, and because very frankly, we have the REX commitment between the REX and the African Union, meaning that the protocol on cooperation, which was signed by the REX and the African Union, takes into consideration this subsidiarity principle, meaning that we cannot react if there is a situation somewhere unless we are informed about this situation from the technical and political levels by the community, by the regional community. The African Union has identified its comparative advantages to support the ongoing political process in Chad, but within the continental organ in which we are, we thought that it is so important that our organ has to react through Peace and Security Council, which has taken a decision on this issue. In the DRC, the African Union, together with other partners of the region, of the Great Lakes region, the region of Central Africa, has elaborated a regional report in order to resolve the problem that is faced in the eastern part of the DRC. The African Union uses its power of gathering in order to improve coordination and cooperation between the ongoing initiative. As you know, there are several initiatives in order to come up with a solution to the crisis in the DRC. The African Union also supports the DRC in its preparations of the election by deploying a peace and evaluation mission before the elections, and also prevent any potential crisis. We will have also a mission to accomplish during the elections in the Central African Republic. Taking into consideration the resurgence of violence in the Central African Republic, the African Union helps countries to implement the political reconciliation agreement with Rwanda and encourages the government of the Republic of Central Africa to promote good governance, the rule of law in order to create appropriate conditions for a democratic transfer of power. And as a guarantor of the peace agreement of 2019 of the African Union plays or tries to act as mediator in order to overcome the crisis and also reaffirm its leading role by trying to prevent the escalation of clashes and fights as part of the efforts that are made for the stability of the Central African Republic. For Cameroon, ladies and gentlemen, members of Parliament, of the Pan-African Parliament.
In Cameroon, the African Union is working on an initiative which could seek to associate other international partners so that we can relaunch the dialogue on the Anglophone crisis. For Gabon, the African Union has sensitized the stakeholders in that country to conduct elections in a peaceful climate. And the African Union is going to send an observer electoral mission to that country for that purpose. So for East Africa, you know the countries that make up East Africa.